The World Health Organization defines femicide as the intentional killing of women because they are women. And now there's a new push to have the targeted killing of women and girls enshrined in Canada's criminal code.
The evening he called, he threatened my mother and told her that she wouldn't live to see her next birthday and that he wouldn't live to see his either.
That clip is from the podcast called She Is Your Neighbor by the Women's Crisis Services of Waterloo Region. They are among the groups calling for the change. And to talk more about why, we are joined by CEO Jennifer Hutton and Communications and Fund Development Manager Jenna Main. Good morning. Great to have you both here this morning.
Good morning.
You say the numbers of femicides that take place in Ontario is high, but it's not part of the conversation around violence and around crime. I want to take another clip and then get your response to it.
Last year, there were 52 women killed in 52 weeks in Ontario alone. And I think that number is really shocking, but surprisingly, I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it.
In Waterloo Region 4.
So, Jen, I want to give you a chance to respond to that. That was you in that clip there. What is the story of femicide in Canada?
Yeah, it's not looking good right now. As I had said before, 52 women in 52 weeks last year. We know in Canada a woman is killed almost every other day, a woman or girl. And it's usually by men and usually an intimate partner or family member as well. So it's not looking good.
It's a shocking number, 52 in 52 weeks. Why do you feel the need for a separate femicide category in addition to homicide in the criminal code, Jennifer?
Well, it's really important that we name femicide. There's some unique traits about femicide. It's really about men's violence against women. And until we name it, then how can we change it? So we need to name it, raise awareness, and when it's a separate part of the criminal code, then we have better data to track it. So we know just how prevalent it really is.
I want to talk about racialized violence. The murders of Indigenous women and girls in Canada has been described as a national crisis. They face disproportionately high percentage of those deaths. How would a femicide category in the criminal code address that?
Well, again, it goes back to that data. And if we have better numbers, and it can represent all those people that are impacted. We know that Indigenous women and girls are killed at a rate of 6 times that of non-Indigenous women and girls.
And same perpetrators, family members, or somebody close?
Yeah, oftentimes women and girls are killed by somebody that cares about them, a loved one.
Jenny, you are the host of this podcast, She Is Your Neighbor. It's bringing awareness and a storytelling project by Women's Crisis Service of Waterloo Region. It explores also domestic violence through stories from different people. So what are you hearing? What are you learning?
Yeah, so our newest season of She Is Your Neighbor is all about understanding femicide. Since it is a growing issue, we thought we really need to focus on this for this series. So we hear from survivors, we hear from family members who have lost women to femicide, we hear from experts. There was the clip earlier from Fallon Farinacci, and she's an Indigenous woman who lost both of her parents to femicide when she was just a child. And later in life, she lost her oldest brother to suicide as well due to all of the family trauma they endured. So I think this podcast is really important. I think these stories are difficult to hear, but they're so important to hear too. And they're also inspiring. You know, Fallon, when she turned 38, she had outlived both of her parents and her oldest brother. She became the oldest person in her family.
Wow.
So she wanted to do something positive to create change. So she ran a fundraiser, raised over $100,000 for Indigenous women and kids experiencing violence. So it kind of goes to show, you know, we can make change, we can make an impact and prevent these tragedies from happening.
Jennifer and Jen, I want to thank you both for coming on your more important topic. And thanks again for bringing the podcast to light.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.